Welcome back, everybody. Today's deep dive, well, might not sound all that exciting at first. We're looking at software that manages your computer displays.
Okay.
But stay with me. It's the VDM 4.x beta from iShadow. And let me tell you, this beta has some features that are seriously cool, especially if you're like me and you constantly feel buried under like a million windows and monitors.
I know what you mean. So it's just software for like managing displays. What's so special about it?
Well, they're trying to solve that feeling of just being overwhelmed with all those digital windows, And this beta, they really want to hear what people think. They're basically saying, help us make this the best it can be.
That's pretty cool. So what kind of features are we talking about here?
All right, so one that really caught my eye is something called physical monitor management.
Physical monitor management.
Have you ever unplugged a monitor, maybe taken your laptop somewhere, and then you plug it back in and all your windows are messed up?
Yeah, all the time. It's such a pain trying to get everything back in place.
Right. Well, this is where VDM 4.x steps in. It lets you easily add, remove, even rearrange your monitors without like that whole window dragging nightmare.
Seriously, that's a game changer right there.
I know. And the best part, they have this snapshot feature. You can basically save a blueprint of your perfect monitor setup. So you unplug your laptop, take it to that meeting, come back, plug back in, and boom, everything's right where you left it.
Hold on. Rewind. It like remembers where everything was.
Exactly. No more lost windows, no more wasted time rearranging. It's like magic.
That's like the dream. I need that in my life yesterday.
I know, right? But hold on. There's a little catch. It's still in beta, so there might be a few kinks to work out. Right. Especially, if you have a really unusual monitor setup. You might need to tweak a few things after restoring a snapshot.
Okay, that makes sense. Beta, experimental, yeah. But even if you have to tweak a few things, the time saved has got to be huge.
Absolutely. Okay, so moving on to something that's like essential these days. Video calls, virtual meetings, all that.
Can't live without them.
I know, right? So VDM 4.x, it's got native teleconferencing compatibility.
Native teleconference?
Yeah. Basically, it means it works seamlessly with platforms like Microsoft Teams and Zoom. Like no more fumbling around trying to share the right screen or worrying about what people can see.
Oh, that's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like I'm like, wait, can you see this? Can you see that? It's so awkward.
I know, right? And especially if you're like me and have a million tabs open at any given time. Talk about embarrassing.
Yeah, definitely not a good look. So this just makes it like seamless.
Exactly. It makes for a much smoother, more focused meeting experience. And speaking of keeping things private, there's another feature I wanted to mention. Incognito mode.
Incognito mode. Like for my monitors.
Yeah. Think of it like a shield for your screen.
Yeah.
It protects your sensitive information from prying eyes, whether it's, someone looking over your shoulder or even someone remotely accessing your computer.
Oh, wow. So like if you're working at a coffee shop or something, you don't have to worry about people seeing what you're doing.
Exactly. You can choose to hide specific windows, even entire applications, or even your desktop icons. You have total control over what's visible and what's not.
Wow, that's actually really cool. I can see that being super useful for like confidential stuff or just peace of mind,
Totally. Okay, so this beta's got some pretty amazing features, right? But the question is, does it play well with other software and, different operating systems?
That's a good question. It wouldn't be very useful if it only worked with specific setups.
Right. Well, it looks like iShadow did their homework here because VDM 4.x has been rigorously tested with like all the major players, Microsoft, VMware, Citrix. So whether you're working locally or remotely on a physical machine or a virtual one, this software should integrate seamlessly.
That's good to hear. It sounds like they've really thought about compatibility.
They have. Okay, now for all you tech-savvy listeners out there, this beta has something special for you. Scripting support.
Scripting support. So like we can automate stuff with it.
You got it. VDM 4.x includes support for PowerShell scripting. So if you're into automating tasks and having like that deeper level of control, you can write custom scripts to change VDM settings or even integrate it into your existing workflows.
Interesting. So it's kind of like they're giving you the keys to the engine and saying, go ahead, customize away.
Exactly. But, even if you're not a scripting guru, this beta still has tons to offer. For example, it has multi-monitor DPI awareness. Basically, what that means is the user interface will look sharp and consistent across all your screens, no matter what resolution they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's important. I've definitely seen that before where things look blurry on one monitor but not the other.
It's the worst. Okay, so what else? What else is in this beta? Oh, virtual desktop support.
Virtual desktops.
Yeah, so whether you're running Windows 10, 11, even Windows Server, VDM 4.x has got you covered.
So it's not just for like individual users then.
Yeah.
Companies could use this for their virtual desktop environments too.
Exactly. It's a really smart move on their part. Okay, but now let's talk about something that actually improves how we use our multiple screens. They have this feature called Monitor Affinity.
Monitor affinity. Okay.
So imagine you're working on your laptop and then you dock it to your bigger monitors. Monitor Affinity basically helps VDM 4.x remember where all your windows were on those bigger screens, and it reduces or even eliminates the need to rearrange everything.
Oh, I see. It makes the transition smoother.
Exactly. It's like having a virtual assistant for your monitors.
Yeah.
But what about the actual process of like setting up VDM 4.x? Is it user-friendly?
Yeah, that's important. No one wants to spend hours trying to figure out complicated settings.
They actually made some big improvements there. VDM 4.x has fluent configuration, which is basically their new and improved editing system. It gives you a lot more flexibility and control, especially for those complex multi-monitor setups.
Okay, that's good. So even if you're creating a really customized setup, it's still easy to use.
Exactly. Oh, and one last thing. This beta is available in 10 languages.
10 languages. Wow. They're definitely thinking globally.
They are. But remember, this is all still beta, so that means user feedback is super important.
Right, because it's like a sneak peek, right? A chance for users to try it out, find the bugs, suggest improvements.
Exactly. By using the beta and giving feedback, you're actually part of the development process. You're helping iShadow make this software the best it can be.
So it's like a big team effort.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's like we all get to be beta testers and help shape the future of this software.
I like that. Okay, so we've covered like a ton of ground here. Monitor management, privacy features, scripting, the whole works. But let's zoom out for a sec. What does all this mean for like the average person? Someone who's not, a tech whiz, but just wants their computer to like work better?
I think for the average user, it just means less frustration, right? We've all been there, like too many windows open, can't find what you need, just feeling overwhelmed. VDM 4.x, it's trying to solve that.
It's like decluttering your desk, but for your computer. That's a good way to put it. And when your digital workspace is less cluttered, well, you're less stressed, you can focus better, you get more done. And that's good for everyone.
Absolutely. Andre, but thinking bigger picture now, what kind of impact could this have, beyond just individuals? We talk about workplaces, but are there other places this could be a game changer?
Oh, definitely. Think about education, for example. Students could switch between different learning environments on their devices super easily.
Yeah.
Or teachers could have more control over what's being shown during online classes.
Oh, that's a really good point. And what about like creative fields, graphic design, video editing, having all that control over your monitor setup, being able to restore specific configurations? That could be huge for their workflow.
Exactly. There are so many possibilities. And this is just the beginning. The more people use this beta, the more feedback iShadow gets, the better it'll become.
It's like a constant evolution. Okay, let's do a quick recap of everything we've talked about, all the key features of this beta.
All right, let's do it. Hit me with those highlights.
Okay, so first up, physical monitor management and that super cool snapshot feature. No more messing around with your monitors and windows every time you unplug your laptop.
And for anyone who's constantly on video calls, that native teleconferencing compatibility is a lifesaver. Zoom, Teams, no more awkward fumbling around.
Then there's incognito mode, your privacy shield for the digital world. Hide windows, hide apps, hide your whole desktop if you want.
And remember, it's got great compatibility. Microsoft, VMware, Citrix, you name it. No matter what system you're on, VDM 4.x should work smoothly.
And for the power users out there, that PowerShell support is going to be a game changer. Automate away.
But even if you're not into scripting, there's still so much to love, like the multi-monitor DPI awareness. Everything looks crisp and clear no matter what screen you're looking at.
And don't forget about monitor affinity. It remembers where your windows were, so no more rearranging every time you switch setups.
And to top it all off, setting everything up is super easy with fluent configuration. Even if you've got a complicated multi-monitor situation, it's a breeze.
So we've seen how this beta can make you more productive, keep your stuff private, and just make your digital life easier. But what's the big picture here? What's iShadow trying to do with this release?
I think they're saying, hey, technology should work for you, not the other way around. They're giving you the tools to create a digital space that you actually enjoy being in.
That's a good way to put it. But here's a thought. With all these awesome features, could VDM 410X actually change the way we think about digital workspaces altogether?
Interesting question. I think it could, yeah. We're already moving away from that old idea of just one screen, one static setup. VDM 4.x lets you be more dynamic, more personalized. It's like a more human-centered approach to digital work.
I like that. So as more people try the beta, give feedback, who knows what'll happen? It feels like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so exciting. It's like an open invitation to come and help shape the future of digital workspaces.
Okay, before we wrap up, what's the one thing you would say to someone who's thinking about trying this beta? Like the best reason to just go for it?
I'd say don't think of it as just another piece of software. Think of it as a chance to make your digital life better. Less frustration, more efficiency, more enjoyment. Why not?
I love that. It's not just about features, it's about taking control of your digital world and making it work for you.
Exactly. And who knows, you might even stumble upon the next big thing in digital innovation along the way.
All right, so we've talked about the features, the potential impact, why user feedback is so important. But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Ooh, I like it. Lay it on me.
We've focused a lot on the practical side of this beta, right?
Yeah.
Productivity, efficiency, all that. But what about the creative potential?
Now you're talking. That's where it gets really interesting.
So here's the question. How could these features, physical monitor management, incognito mode, all of them, how could they be used in totally new and unexpected ways?
That's a great challenge. It reminds us that at the end of the day, technology is a tool for human creativity. Who knows what amazing things people will create with this beta?
I can't wait to find out. Okay, before we go, any final thoughts for our listeners as they explore VDM 4.x beta?
I think just go into it with an open mind. Be curious, experiment. Don't be afraid to really push the limits of what you think you can do with your digital workspace.
It's like they're saying, here are the tools, now go create something awesome. And you know what? The next big thing, it could come from anyone who's willing to dive in and play around with this beta.
That's so true.
Yeah.
This is your chance to really make a difference, to help shape the future. So yeah, dive in, explore, try things out, and most importantly, tell iShadow what you think. Your feedback, it could make all the difference.
That's such an important point. This isn't just about downloading a beta, it's about joining a community of people who want to make their digital lives better.
Exactly. It's a shared mission, to make something really great. And that's what makes this beta so special.
Well said. I think we've covered pretty much everything about VDM 4.x beta, all the amazing features, how it could change the way we work, everything.
We've seen how it can make you more productive, keep your information safe, and just make your digital life a whole lot easier.
But before we sign off, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought, something to, spark their imagination.
Ooh, I like it. Let's hear it.
We've talked a lot about the practical benefits, but what about the creative side of things?
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
So here's the thing. How could we use all these features, all this cool stuff? How could we use it to create, to innovate? I mean, think about it. Physical monitor management, incognito mode, all of it. What could you do with those?
That is a great question to leave everyone with. It really gets you thinking. I mean, technology is really just a tool for us to express ourselves, to create. I can't wait to see what people come up with.
Me too. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into VDM 4.x beta. It's been a blast.
It has. And until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, keep pushing the boundaries.
Because the future of digital workspaces, it's in your hands.
Yeah.
Make it amazing.